watching Primetime News on TV1 live and direct from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. Bringing you the news, I'm Jadabdin.
And I'm Chalani Ratnavira. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Headlines on Newsfirst.
Air Force rescues 14 people, including peacekeepers, amid enemy attacks in Central Africa. 35 dengue deaths. University of the Visual and Performing Arts in Colombo also closed down. GLP research opposition attempts to blame the government for the spread of dengue. Salley maintains stance of not revealing passwords. Gamanpila says he will return to court. Judicial power of judges is an intangible heritage belonging to the people, Chief Justice emphasizes. CID questions senior DIG Varunajaya Sundara over alleged underworld connections. And on to those stories in detail. In your top story this evening, the Sri Lanka Air Force Sri Aviation Unit deployed under Miniska successfully conducted a casualty evacuation mission, rescuing 14 people, including peacekeepers.
The mission was launched following an attack on troops of the Zambian battalion who were conducting an area domination patrol in the Antofok area.
Sri Lanka Air Force said that during the incident, an unidentified armed group had attacked the patrol using AK-47 assault rifles, RPGs and machine guns. The attack had resulted in multiple casualties among Zambian battalion personnel, civilians, gendarmerie and other security personnel. Initially, a helicopter from another aviation unit was tasked to carry out the troop insertion and case-SWAT mission. However, due to adverse weather conditions, the aircraft was unable to depart on time. Sri Lanka Air Force confirmed that as the situation on the ground continued to deteriorate, the force commander had directed the Sri Aviation Unit to undertake the mission. The mission was commanded by Contingent Commander of the Sri Aviation Unit, Group Captain Asiri Patrage, as pilot in command with Flight Lieutenant Dilharsh Atapattu serving as co-pilot. Sri Lanka Air Force added that while en route, the tactical situation had deteriorated further as the number of casualties increased. The force commander had subsequently reprioritized the mission and directed the helicopter to proceed directly without embarking the reinforcement troops. After approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes of flight, the helicopter had arrived where the helipad was only partially secured and the security situation remained volatile. The crew had landed the aircraft, embarked the casualties while keeping both engines running to minimize ground time, and departed the area immediately. Sri Lanka Air Force confirmed that the AMET had provided continuous medical care to the casualties throughout the flight. A total of 14 casualties were evacuated during the mission. This rescue operation will be recorded in the history of Sri Lanka Air Force as a remarkable mission carried out with exceptional courage and a commitment to saving lives, placing duty to humanity above personal safety.
The University of the Visual and Performing Arts in Colombo will be closed due to the spread of dengue at the premises. This decision comes after approximately 30 students at the university contracted the disease.
Meanwhile, the total number of dengue-related deaths reported in the country so far has risen to 35.
The University of the Visual and Performing Arts, Colombo, will be closed until the 13th of July, and the university hostels will also be closed during this period. The spread of dengue has also increased in the vicinity of the university hostels located in Rajagiriya and Tehiwala.
Currently, there is no discussion about closing other universities in this manner. If students face any difficulties in attending lectures due to this dengue situation, arrangements will likely be made, depending on the university's requirements, to reconduct missed lectures or hold practical examinations again.
The number of reported dengue patients in the country has exceeded 56,000 so far this year. In the month of June alone, 21,556 patients have been reported.
Most cases are reported from the Western Province, specifically within the Colombo, Kampaha and Kalutara districts and the Colombo Municipal Council limits. Of these patients, 52.47% are reported from the Western Province, 15% are reported from the Southern Province and 8.6% from the Sabaragamuwa Province. It is regrettable that we received information yesterday that even in a house where 2 dengue patients were present, upon inspection, there were still mosquito breeding sites with larvae at the home. Most hospitals hospitals have their medical or pediatric wards completely full. This is a major challenge for the hospital systems.
It has been decided to implement dengue mosquito control programs island-wide for another 3 days starting today. This is being conducted under the direction of the Ministry of Public Administration, provincial councils and local government. Dengue control and awareness programs were organized in several areas today as well. The Operations Centre, established to provide information regarding dengue prevention and control, has received 207 complaints within a week. Acting Director of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Kapila Kannangara, said that the highest number of complaints received were regarding premises where water has stagnated and mosquito larvae are present. You can inform the unit of dengue breeding sites by calling 011 7966 366.
We are in constant communication with the health sectors and all those involved in this, and our number one priority is saving patient lives. However, no one should reduce their efforts to keep their surroundings clean and prevent the spread of dengue mosquitoes just because the trend of rising patient numbers might have decreased. The Dengue Control Unit has designated several days this week for this. It is a request for everyone in the country to get involved in these activities. All other steps come after that. No matter what vaccines or Wolbachia bacteria are introduced, or whatever methods are followed, the number one priority remains the effort put into controlling mosquito breeding sites.
මදුරුවන් බෝවන ස්ථාන පාලනය කිරීමට දරන මහන්සි උත්සාහය.
Fishing in troubled waters.
The political group functioning as the People's Joint Opposition under the leadership of Professor G.L. Piris convened a media briefing today attempting to portray the government's inability to control the spread of dengue as a fundamental weakness of the current administration. This is how they responded to the questions posed by journalists.
Even though they say 58,000, the most important officials regarding this matter informed me last night that there are far more than that. But today, we don't have the national level program we had back then. We don't even know how many more deaths have occurred because we don't know if the death certificates are being accurately issued indicating dengue as the cause. We did not control dengue by filing lawsuits. These people own over 300 local government bodies. They are the chairman. Why is the dengue rate higher under this government than under previous ones? That is the question. The main reason is that they have brought in the most incompetent, incapable people who don't even know the basics, and put them in the top seats of local government bodies. They don't know that you need to clean a drain, that you need to fumigate, and that you need to clean the premises to face this dengue threat.
වතු ටික සුද්ධ කරලා මේ ඩෙන්ගු අවදානට මුහුණ දෙන්න.
ඩෙන්ගු 2017 තමයි දැන්ටත් මම හිතන්නේ පහුගිය ඒක පෙරවසරවලට එක්ක බැලුවොත් එහෙම ලොකුම අවුට්බ්‍රේක් එකක අසංගතත්වයක් තිබුණා අවුරුදු. ඒ 2017 අවුරුද්දේ ඩෙන්ගු ඒ වගේ තත්ත්ව අසංගතත්වයක් ඇති වෙන්නේ හේතුව ඒ වෛරසයේ ප්‍රබලත්වයද කියන එක ස්කයිප් එකේ ප්‍රබලත්වයද මෙතුමාගේ නොහැකියාව. ඒ වෙලාවේ 2017 උතුමගේ මොකද මම එකඟයි. ඒ පරාපරණ දේශපාලන නායකත්වයක් නැහැ. ඒ වගේ කියන්නේ 2017 වසරේ ඒ වගේ අසංගතත්වයක් ඇති වෙන්න හේතුව නායකත්වයක් නෙවෙයි.
මේ සෞඛ්‍ය වාර්තාත් එක්ක මම කතා කරන්නේ. අර මෙන් ඇඳ ගත්තේ වැඩක් නැහැ. 2012 තමයි ඩෙන්ගි තත්ත්වය උත්සන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒකට ඒකේ 28000ක් විතර වාර්තා වෙන 2012. 2015 විතර වෙනකොට උච්චම අවස්ථාවකට එනවා 58000ක් විතර.
පොදුවල 2017 ආරෝග්‍ය කොච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක් වාර්තා වුණාද? 2017 කොච්චර ප්‍රමාණයක් වාර්තා වුණාද මතකද? 1,80,000. 80,000.
මරණ 400 ගණන් තියෙනවා.
400 ගණන් තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒක 2010 ඒතකොට විශාල වැඩිවීමක් වෙලා. ඔතුමා දකින්න විදිහට මේ පළාත් පාලනවල ප්‍රශ්න ආයතනවල ප්‍රශ්න එතකොට බලපෑවේ නැත්නම් ඩෙන්ගු කියන වෛරසයේ ව්‍යාප්තිය වීමද
ඒකම නෙවෙයි ඒක බලපෑමක්. නමුත් ඒ ඔක්කොටම වඩා තියෙන ඩෙන්ගි මර්ධනය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ ඒකට වැඩපිළිවෙලක් දාලා.
විද්‍යාත්මක දත්ත අනුව දැන් ඔය 2017 ව්‍යාප්ත වූ ඩෙන්ගු කියන ටයිප් එකේ කාණ්ඩෙම තමයි දැන් ඩෙන්ගි ව්‍යාප්ත වෙනවා කියලා දත්ත තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ කාලේ ඔබතුමාලා $12 මිලියන 12.7 වියදම් කරලා මේ හොස්පිටල් කැපැසිටි වැඩි කරලා එහෙම දේවල් කරා කියලා. පොදේරුණු සභාපතිතුමා එතුමාගේ ඒ කාලේ ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා කොවිඩ් කාලේ කරා අපි තමයි හොඳම කරේ කියන කැපැසිටි මෙඩිකල් හොස්පිටල් වල. එතකොට දැන් 1,86,000ක් දරා ගන්න පුළුවන් දායකතාවක් කොමුණල් හොස්පිටල් වල මෙච්චර ඩොලර් මිලියන ගණනක් ඉඳලා හැදුවා නම් දැන් කොහොමද මේ 50,000 ගණනට හොස්පිටල් කැපැසිටි ෆුල් වෙන්නේ?
ඒකදී කලබල කරන්නේ. ඒක හොස්පිටල් වලින් විතරක් නෙවෙයි අපි කරේ.
වැඩ කරන්න ආවම වැඩ කරලා පෙන්නන්නේ. ඒක කරලා පරිගණක නවත්තන්න කොට. පරිගණනවා. හොරකම් කරනවා ඉතින් අපිට කමන්නේ නැහැ. අපි නෑ කියන්නේ හැබැයි වැඩක් කරන ජනතාව මේක අපි ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා.
එදා අපිට ওই වගේ ෆන්ඩ් එකක් අපිට තිබුණේ නැහැ. තේරුණාද? දැන් තියෙනවා බිලියන 6මාරක ෆන්ඩ් එකක්. මොකද බොරුවට කතා කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ මේක මර්ධනය කරන්න.
Meanwhile, several opposition coalition partners held torchlight protests yesterday evening in Colombo and several surrounding areas. The theme of the protest highlighted that the prices of goods, bus fares and gas prices are too high and that it is very difficult now for the people. These protests took place with the participation of a few individuals in areas including Borella, Malabe, Rajagiriya and Mount Lavinia.
අනුර පහර දුන්නේ හොඳම තැනට කාන්තාවට. කාන්තාවගේ ජීවන බර හොඳටම නැගලා තියෙන්නේ දැන්. අනේ අනුර දැන්වත් මේ අපි ගැන හිතලා කාන්තාව ගැන හිතලා මේ ජීවන බර අපිට පහත් තත්ත්වයට දාලා දෙන්න. අපිට මේ ජීවන බර දරා ගන්න බෑ දැන්. හොඳටම අමාරුයි දරා ගන්න.
While the political group appearing as the People's Joint Opposition was analysing the issue of dengue control, a statement made by a member of that group, Dayasiri Jayasekara, has become a subject of intense debate. This is the response from the People's Power Collective to that statement.
We agree with the government's effort to defeat and prevent this corrupt political regime, which was promised to be ended by the people's mandate from returning, and we support the government in providing the necessary facilities for that. That is why all these thieves, murderers, thugs, scoundrels and racists have all come together now. This is now one consolidated group. We had seen this loosely as citizens before, but it was not clearly and physically visible until now. However, this is the time when it is clearly visible.
හැබැයි ටක්කෙටම පේන කාලේ තමයි මේ ලැබිලා තියෙන්නේ.
අපි සියලු දෙනා එකතු වෙන්න ඕනේ. විවිධ මතවාද තියෙන්න පුළුවන් හැම කෙනා අතර. සමහර කට්ටිය ජාතිවාදී වෙන්න පුළුවන්. සමහර කට්ටිය හොරු මංකොල්ලකාරයෝ ප්‍රශ්න තියන අය. හරි? දූෂණ චෝදනා තියන අය වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපිට දැන් එහෙම වෙන් කරලා කිරලා මැනලා ගන්න බැරි තත්ත්වයක් පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
නේ මම හිතන්නේ දයාසිරි තමයි මුළු ඒ අර සිස්ටම් එකේම නිරෝධ පෙන්නුවා.
I think Dayasiri exposed the nakedness of that entire system. What is it? We all need to come together, thieves and robbers. This is the main slogan of the opposition. After this, the democratic citizen society of this country has nothing left to say, right? I think what we see from these people like Dayasiri is the primary baseline of democracy. This is the main dividing line. That is why we said this is a battle on a rock. This is a battle in the middle of a river. This is a battle against a snake pit. Therefore, we say this must go forward. If the government, or specifically the Criminal Investigation Department and others abandons this, these snakes will regroup and launch a massive attack not only on the government or the officers involved in the criminal investigations, but also on all those who hold democratic aspirations, journalists and even civil society groups.
සිවිල් සමාජ පිරිස්වලට මේ සියල්ලන්ට දැවැන්ත ප්‍රහාරයක් මොවුන්ගෙන් එළෙලා.
When GL Piris, the leader of the group posing as the People's Joint Opposition, was asked about Dayasiri Jayasekara's statement today, this was his response.
මම කියන්නේ අපි මේක මේ විශේෂයට අපි සම්බන්ධ කරගන්න මේක ඉතා භයානක තත්ත්වයක් තියෙනවා. ඒක යාගෙන් මහගන්න. විශේෂයට අපි විශේෂ සම්බන්ධ ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහන්න.
Executive member of the People's Struggle Movement, Vasantha Mudalige, says that the political alternative should not be a political front built by a group of thieves, the corrupt and the fraudulent. As things begin to unfold one by one, we see the opposition becoming as turbulent as if the heavens themselves were shaken, and they are now attempting to form new alliances. However, we tell the public, before joining these alliances, before joining these unions, before joining these coalitions, look back and see the faces involved. Namal Rajapaksa is there and his track record is now being laid bare. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Namal's uncle, is there. His track record is also being exposed now. Behind them is Mahinda Rajapaksa. His track record is also being revealed. On the other side, there are people like Dayasiri Jayasekara, the very person who now says all must unite to form an alliance, also has a track record that is now being exposed to the public. Then there are others like S.M. Chandrasena. All of them have formed an alliance. We believe that this is a political alliance which will create serious problems in the country. Therefore, while we have many political issues to resolve with the government, and despite having a vast number of criticisms regarding the government's economic and political programs, we tell the people of this country that the next political alternative must not be front built by these very gangs of thieves, the corrupt and the fraudulent. A different alternative is needed, and that is the alternative the people themselves must build.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now. Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now.
Welcome back to the news. Udayagamampila states that further steps will be taken to withhold disclosing the passwords for the laptop and mobile phone of former State Intelligence Chief Suresh Salley, who is a suspect in the Easter Sunday terror attacks. He said that Salley's lawyers will return to court regarding this matter.
Now the following is the explanation given by Gamampila during a press conference held today, along with his responses to questions raised by journalists.
We
respect that court order, but we do not agree with it. Salley's lawyers will take steps to appeal against this order. There are 4 valid reasons why Suresh Salley does not have to provide his passwords to the police. The first reason is that according to the Code of Criminal Procedure, a suspect is under no obligation to assist in an investigation conducted against them. The second reason is that no one can exert pressure or use force on Suresh Salley to provide the password, nor can he be coerced. The third reason is that this mobile phone and computer contains sensitive information regarding his informants. Details about the informants who provided intelligence are only held by this relevant officer. Within his agency, the name and identity of the source are not disclosed. Instead, a code name is used. Information is provided using those code names. Among those informants, there are sometimes those who provide information based on personal trust or their relationships. Some even marry to obtain information. They take jobs with organizations to get information or join organizations to gather information. These people risk their own lives to gather information. Sometimes a wife provides information about her husband. In some cases, a daughter provides information out of anger toward her father. Even if intelligence obtained by using the daughter or wife is provided to intelligence agencies, the details of that daughter or wife are known only to that officer. The disclosure of this information would be extremely sensitive. As an intelligence officer who has built a massive information network over 38 years, his phone and computer may contain such details. The fourth point is very important. Our history is written with experiences of massive disasters caused by intelligence information being leaked to the Criminal Investigation Department in the past.
එතනත් ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා. දැන් අපි හිතමු රාජ්‍ය රහසේ නැත්නම් සංවේදී තොරතුරු එතුමා අවසන් වරට වැඩ කරේ රාජ්‍ය නොවන සංවිධානය ගැන. එතකොට ඒ වුන් සතු වුණොත් මේ බුද්ධිතොරු
මේම රටේ තමයි රටේ නීතියක් නැහැ. බුද්ධ්‍යංශ නිලධාරී විශ්‍රාම ගත්තම වෙනත් ආයතනයක රාජකාරී කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔහු කිසි වරදක් කළා නැහැ.
Meanwhile, MP Jagat Manuwarna provided a clarification today regarding who Suresh Salley needs to be protected from.
ලංකාවේ 278ක් ඝාතනය කරපු බෝම්බ.
Is it wrong for the people to demand justice for a bomb that killed 278 people in Sri Lanka and nearly left 500 permanently disabled? As a government, is it wrong for us to intervene to ensure justice is served? Is it a task we must absolutely fulfill? We came into power with the promise of finding these killers and ensuring justice for the victims of the Easter attacks. As the investigations proceed within a specific framework, with courts intervening effectively and with the police and the criminal investigation department operating without any bias, there is a group outside waiting to sabotage these efforts. The group includes Vimal Weerawansa, Udaya Gammanpila, Sarath Weerasekara and the Rajapaksa faction. Specifically, I want to tell Suresh Salley's wife, his children and his close friends. Suresh Salley does not need to be saved from us. We are protecting him. We are protecting him as a government. The government, the courts, the police and the CID are all here to ensure Suresh Salley's safety. He needs to be protected from the Rajapaksas. He needs to be protected from Udaya Gammanpila. He needs to be protected from Vimal Weerawansa and Sarath Weerasekara because the threat he faces come from them.
The Criminal Investigation Department recorded a statement from the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Eastern Province, Madu Church, for approximately 4 hours today regarding his alleged connections with organized criminal gangs.
Senior Deputy Inspector General Varuna Jayasundara was summoned to the Criminal Investigation Department in connection with an ongoing investigation into allegations that he maintained ties with an organized criminal figure known as Kelbatharu Padme. He arrived at the CID around 9:30 am and departed after providing a statement for nearly 4 hours.
Chief Justice Preeti Padman Surasena says that the judicial power vested in judges as well as the independence of the judiciary is an intangible heritage belonging to the general public. Addressing a group of new judges at the Sri Lanka Judges Institute, the Chief Justice emphasized that it is paramount responsibility of judges to safeguard the trust placed in the judicial system by the public.
So you as the judge exercise on the bench, what power? Judicial power of the people. You don't bring that power from your home, nor do we give you power. It is not the JC which gives you power. Then who gives you power? The people. For whose benefit? Benefit of the people. That has to be borne in mind. This is mentioned in, there's a preamble in the Constitution called Swasti. That is the place where this is best explained. I will only quote a small part from Swasti in the Constitution. I quote, assuring to all people freedom, equality, justice, fundamental rights and the independence of the judiciary. Okay, I pause it there and repeat. And the independence of the judiciary as the intangible heritage that guarantees the dignity and well-being of succeeding generations of the people of Sri Lanka and of all the people of the world who come to share with those generations the effort of working for the creation and preservation of a just and free society. So where does this independence of the judiciary come from? People. How have people got it? People have inherited. Intangible heritage. Independence of the judiciary as the intangible heritage. People have inherited from succeeding generations. Actually, it is not the Constitution which gives. Constitution only has a framework to support it. But that is not something which the Constitution has given. That comes from the history, from generation to generation, as an intangible heritage. So the independence of the judiciary also belongs to people. There is only a framework to support, uplift and maintain and protect that thing in the Constitution. So that is how people will protect their independence of the judiciary through the JC. Now that is why it was the JC which was instrumental in calling for applications, conducting the examination, sending you through rigorous scrutinization process, selecting you, and finally to train you, and also to post you to several stations and keep monitoring. That and why? To preserve the independence of the judiciary in you for the people, not to preserve independence of the judiciary for yourself, centered only for yourself. That is the point I want to drive into your mind. Some people think, oh, I am a judge, I am independent. There is a thing called independence of the judiciary. I can do anything I like. No. You see how difficult your job is. For the others who just watch and say, he is the judge, he or she is the judge, this is the set of facts, I have to be satisfied of what he or she says. No, that is not the case. That also needs to be borne in mind. Then about your power, I told. Now the maintenance of, we need to maintain, the people have reposed a lot of trust and confidence in this system, the judicial system. Why have they reposed this trust and confidence? Is it because judiciary has money? No. Is it because judiciary has power? No. That is because of the feeling and confidence the people have that their disputes would be adjudicated by the judiciary in a fair manner. It is with that expectation that people have confidence in the system. So having said that, there are a lot of courts scattered throughout the country. We need competent people to man all these courts. Some are far away, some are close by.
Watch the FIFA World Cup live, where the best football teams in the world compete. Live matches, Rewind TV, highlights, reels. Watch it all for free. Download the Pure mobile app now.
Welcome back to the news. President Rukman Asitha emphasized that all relevant institutions must operate in accordance with the national plan in order to eradicate the drug menace.
The President made these remarks while attending the meeting of a Nation United National Steering Council for the Eradication of the Drug Menace. The meeting was held this morning at the Presidential Secretariat.
President Rukman Asitha instructed that a report be submitted at the next meeting detailing the responsibilities assigned to each institution under the national plan to eliminate the drug menace, the progress achieved thus far and the programs implemented by each institution to combat the problem. During the meeting, attention was also drawn into the measures being taken to prevent school children from becoming involved in drug use. According to the President's Media Division, progress in drafting a new legislation to ensure the prompt destruction of seized narcotics was also reviewed during the meeting. Attention was also given to introducing an automated system for managing court exhibits and to decentralize laboratory facilities with the support of legal and scientific experts in order to minimize delays in investigations. The President highlighted the need for a systematic reporting mechanism on seized narcotics and the locations where they are being held as court exhibits. Discussions were held on preventing narcotics from entering the country via maritime routes and how the Navy, police and intelligence services are implementing a joint special operational plan. Discussions also focused on preventing the distribution of drugs by boat, the legislative amendments required in this regard, and strengthening the legal authority to confiscate vehicles used for drug trafficking, including multi-day fishing vessels.
The historic Madu Church festival for the month of July was celebrated today.
The July festival of the sacred shrine Madu in Mannar commenced with the hoisting of the flag on the 23rd of June. Following the flag hoisting, the 9-day novena prayers were held, leading up to the main festive high mass, which was celebrated this morning at 6:15 a.m. The High Mass was concelebrated by the Bishop of Mannar, Right Reverend Dr. Gnanapragasam Anthony Pillai, the Bishop of Anuradhapura, Right Reverend Dr. Nishanta Jayamanna, and Right Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Fernando. Following the festive Mass, the procession of the statue of Our Lady of Madu took place and blessings were bestowed on the devotees. A large number of devotees from foreign countries and from all corners of the country participated in the July festival of Our Lady of Madu. The final rites of the late popular singer Rukman Asitha were performed this afternoon in Makola.
Popular singer Rukman Asitha, who had been ill for some time, passed away on the 29th of June while receiving treatment at the Colombo National Hospital. He was 48 years old at the time of his demise. His remains were placed at his residence in Ihalabiyanwila, Mavaramandia, for the general public to pay their last respects over the past few days. His final rites were performed this afternoon with the participation of family members, fellow artists and fans. Rukman Asitha entered the field of music as a talented contestant who reached the final 12 of Sirasa Superstar. Throughout his vibrant musical career that began from that moment on, the songs he sang, such as Adare Mahasundaraikya and Ude Hava Dakinawa, as well as the songs he created for drivers of three-wheelers, became immensely popular among fans in the country. Rukman Asitha, may you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana.
The Embassy of China in Sri Lanka marked the 105th anniversary of the founding of the Communist Party of China in Colombo last night. Several politicians representing their respective political parties were in attendance at the event.
The Communist Party of China celebrated the 105th anniversary of its founding yesterday with the official
future. We look forward to working together with the Sri Lanka side to fully implement the important consensus reached by the two heads of state. Hand in hand, explore the development path suited to our respective national conditions, promote the building of China-Sri Lanka community with shared future of strategic significance, and bring more corporate benefits and great dividends to the two peoples.
Speaking at the event, General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Tilvin Silva, highlighted the close cooperation between Janata Vimukti Peramuna and the Communist Party of China.
It is worth respectfully noting that the Chinese Communist Party is working in close cooperation with the Janata Vimukti Peramuna in Sri Lanka. During Comrade President Anurag Kumara Dissanayaka's visit to China earlier in 2025, an important memorandum of understanding was signed between the JVP and the Chinese Communist Party. It is with great honor I mention that under this agreement, several programs have already been implemented through which the Chinese Communist Party has provided training and study opportunities in China for activists of the JVP and the National People's Power, sharing valuable experience through educational exchanges. Further, such training and educational programs are also planned for the future. Even currently, groups representing the JVP and the NPP are undertaking educational trips in China. I take this as an opportunity to express my deepest appreciation to the Communist Party of China for the cooperation and support extended.
Several other politicians, including the leader of the opposition, also addressed the ceremony.
In terms of the economic ideology, there are many similarities between your modernized party and the Samagijana Balavega of Sri Lanka. We will always promote party-to-party cooperation, cooperation that will ensure that both our countries' national interests are prioritized and enhanced. Congratulations, and we hope the Communist Party of China will continue to provide esteemed leadership for the people of China.
Your Excellency, as a General Secretary of SLPP, may I be permitted to state this as well. When then Sri Lankan government started those massive development projects, there were unfounded criticism against those projects by opposition parties and various parties with vested interests. it was said that China was trying to get Sri Lanka into a Chinese debt trap. And also, baseless allegations were made that China has paid massive commissions for those projects, and the projects were carried out in order to obtain commissions, but of no use to the future development of Sri Lanka. Those were the allegations that were made when China was doing those projects in Sri Lanka. However, today we are very happy and proud to observe that same people who criticize those projects done with the assistance of China have now admitted that those projects are the future of Sri Lanka, and future development of Sri Lanka depends on those projects.
The United National Party has always worked to deepen this friendship. Under the leadership of His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe, Sri Lanka joined the Belt and Road Initiative as one of its earliest partners and advanced the Colombo Port City, the most ambitious investment project in our nation's history. And when Sri Lanka faced its worst economic crisis in 2022, China stood among the partners who supported the recovery. That President Wickremesinghe set in motion throughout, our party has upheld without favoring Sri Lanka's firm commitment to the One China policy.
Parallel celebrations of the milestone also took place in many countries across the world.
At the International Anti-Corruption Forum 2026 in Seoul, Sri Lanka was highlighted as one of the clearest examples of how a Korea-inspired integrity model can be adapted into a national anti-corruption system. Newsfirst Zulfik Farzan reports from Seoul.
The Korea UNDP International Anti-Corruption Forum got underway in Seoul, South Korea Thursday, marking a decade of partnership, a future of integrity. Now, South Korea's Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission chairperson Jong Il-yoon, speaking exclusively to Newsfirst at the forum, said its anti-corruption policies are now actively contributing towards anti-corruption efforts in several countries, especially in Sri Lanka. Now, the two-day forum is co-hosted by the UNDP Seoul Policy Center and the ACRC.
The two-day International Anti-Corruption Forum, co-hosted by the UNDP Seoul Policy Center and the ACRC, is being held in Seoul from the 2nd of July to the 3rd of July and was opened by Jung Il-yong, chairperson of the ACRC, and Ann Yupner, director of the UNDP Seoul Policy Center. Former Secretary General of the Sri Lanka Parliament, Dhammika Dasanayake, now an anti-corruption specialist for UNDP Sri Lanka, elaborated on the implementation of the Korean model in Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka had to resort to IMF for assistance, and in their diagnostic report too, they reported that corruption in public authorities was a major contributor to this economic downturn. So during this time, we were desperately looking for mechanisms how to sort of promote a culture of ethical conduct and integrity in government authorities. So, and at that time, a new law, a composite anti-corruption law, a very powerful law, was also enacted, law number 9 of 2023, which was a very commendable effort to sort of strategize the anti-corruption efforts on the part of the government. So as part of the approach, what we did was that we went through the technical documentation that has been evolved by Korea, how to conduct this assessment, and we had them translated, we had them adapted, we had them contextualized, and we had them localized to align with the local anti-corruption strategies that we have already evolved. First thing that we had to do was to identify the institutions that we were going to perform this assessment on. So with the help of the ACRC, we developed a criteria and came up with identifying all the important ministries and some of the key departments. 67 institutions altogether for the pilot project. So this was our first attempt, and it was a pilot project that we initiated with the assistance of USPC and also the UNDP of Sri Lanka. So to have resources, the capacity to have independent evaluators performing the assessment in the increasing number of public institutions that we are targeting is a challenge that we are facing.
The International Anti-Corruption Forum continues in Seoul on Friday.
The 159th Canadian Confederation Day was celebrated in Colombo yesterday with the participation of the diplomatic community, government officials, private sector leaders and stakeholders.
The Canadian Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka, or Kancham Sri Lanka, marked the 159th Canadian Confederation Day with a flagship celebration in Colombo last night. The celebration was attended by Isabel Martin, High Commissioner of Canada to Sri Lanka and the Maldives, along with the founder of Kancham Sri Lanka and several other local and foreign dignitaries.
After Cyclone Detwa, the resilience of the Sri Lankan people was just inspiring. Canada was proud to support emergency response efforts and remains committed to recovery and rebuilding. We are living in a time of global change in which Canada promises to continue working with partners who value cooperation, openness, and respect for sovereignty. The Indo-Pacific region is increasingly important. Its dynamic economies offer great opportunities.
A panel discussion on connecting Canada, Sri Lanka and the Indo-Pacific through sustainable trade, innovation and investment took place during the ceremony with the participation of several industry leaders, including Iran Vikramaratne.
Sri Lanka has one of the largest expatriate populations in the world when you take it as a percentage of the population of the country. Lots of people have looked at it sometimes as a negative. I see it as one of the biggest positives that this country has, our expatriate population. Because our expatriate population, education levels are high. Not only that, right, they have savings and investments. So this diaspora, we need them. We must welcome them. That is, we should be welcoming them. We should be giving them citizenship. Dual citizenship. Second and third generation, we should be welcoming them by giving them permanent residency. So they feel that they actually have a connection and they actually belong here.
The event also witnessed the handing over of the 5-year strategic tourism development plan prepared by the Kancham Sri Lanka Tourism Core Group. The celebrations concluded with a cake-cutting ceremony to mark the 159th Canada Day, along with a networking reception for all attendees.
Up next, in Corporate Brief, the vibrant, spice-rich heritage of the North arrives at the capital as the Jaffna Food Festival 2026 officially opened its doors yesterday.
The annual Jaffna Food Festival, Yal Virundu, commenced yesterday at Ramada, Colombo for the second consecutive year. Organized by Fox Resorts Jaffna, together with Ramada Colombo, this culinary showcase brings together expert teams of chefs, offering guests a rare opportunity to savor authentic Jaffna cuisine prepared with time-honored recipes. To ensure an experience that is as authentic as it is memorable, chefs have travelled all the way from Jaffna, bringing with them the secret spices and techniques that define the region's unique culinary identity to show residents in Colombo the rich taste of northern cooking styles. The festival will continue until the 5th of July.
Tomorrow marks a special day for Gamad as the dreams of young students at Siddhartha Vidyalaya in Meegamawatha Kandy will be coming true.
Meegamawatha Siddhartha Vidyalaya in the Path Dumbar Divisional Secretariat of Kandy is a school with around 280 students. For years, both students and teachers have faced a major challenge due to the lack of proper water supply system. Following a request made by the school principal, Gammatha stepped in to address the school's water issue. The foundation stone for a water distribution system at the school was laid after the issue was brought to the attention of the Gammatha team during the 2025 Gammatha door-to-door program. Tomorrow, the newly built water distribution system will be handed over to the students. The project is primarily supported by the president of the International Women's Association, Colombo 7, along with its 2024-2025 Executive Committee. The project is co-sponsored by N.M. Hussain, granddaughter of the late Rajab Khan Muhyiddin Saibu of Kalukale, Noor Elia, in loving memory of him.
In international news, India and Japan signed several agreements today.
Umetra Bekun joins us with more details. Umetra?
Yes, Stuart and Chalani. Now, India and Japan signed pacts today to boost their cooperation in artificial intelligence, metals, energy, and prepared a joint roadmap for economic security. The signing took place following talks between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Japanese counterpart, Sane Takaichi.
Prime Minister of Japan Sane Takaichi is on a 3-day visit to New Delhi as the two Asian partners hold their 16th annual summit.
Good afternoon and namaskar. First and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Prime Minister Modi and the people of India for your warm hospitality on the occasion of my visit to your country.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi told reporters, quote-unquote, the convergence of Japan's precision technology and India's software capabilities will give a new momentum and strength to global AI development. According to Indian government data, bilateral trade between the two countries reached $27.5 billion in fiscal year 2025-26, while Japanese investment in India was $3.2 billion between April and December 2025. Modi said that the two countries, also members of the Quad grouping, signed an agreement on their first co-development project in the defense sector. Japan is among India's largest investors, backing major infrastructure projects, including a high-speed rail corridor between the cities of Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Japanese firms have also increased investments in Indian companies, including a recent $1.6 billion deal for a 20% stake in Yes Bank.
England, Belgium and the United States have officially punched their tickets to the round of 16 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, joining 7 other nations who have already secured their spots in the knockout stages. England staged a gritty comeback to overcome the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Despite falling behind early, the Three Lions rallied in the second half behind a clinical brace from captain Harry Kane. Now, Kane's performance brings his tournament tally to 5 goals, helping England maintain a strong position as they head into the next round.
Cordon for Kane!
A stunning turnaround against Senegal, trailing by 2 goals late into regular time. The Belgians scored twice in the 86th and 89th minutes to force an extra period. Now, Yuri Tielemans completed the dramatic comeback by converting a penalty deep into extra time, securing his second goal of the match and a hard-fought victory for his side. Hosts the United States continued their strong form with a composed 2-0 victory over Bosnia and Herzegovina. The results confirmed the US side's place in the round of 16, while marking an emotional end to Bosnia and Herzegovina's historic debut FIFA World Cup campaign. More matches of the round of 32 are scheduled to be played for tomorrow. Spain versus Austria, Portugal versus Croatia, Switzerland versus Algeria, Australia versus Egypt. The licensed broadcasting rights for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Sri Lanka are held by the Maharaja Media Network. All matches will be broadcast live on Sirasa TV and TV1.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News on TV1.
Thank you for watching.
Good night.